Hi everyone, welcome to my studio. Today's painting is a simple composition, just two rowboats resting in the water. I've penciled in my boats. I want to make sure that the shape is just right. And now I'm going over my line drawing with just a mixture of ivory black. This is going to be an impressionistic painting. So I want to make sure that all the drawing is correct so I don't have to think about it. I'm mostly interested in color. So let's get into the background. I'm isolating the boats by putting in a warm background color. I want the sunlight behind the boats. And then I'll get right into the shadowed side. This is the darkest reflection on the shadow side of each boat. And then I'll continue to cover up my white panel with warm underpainting. I like to keep these colors nice and fresh. Some of them will show through, some of them won't. And at this stage, you can put any color you want under here. Eliminating all of the white. Now let's get into the shadowed side of the boats. This is the darkest part of the subject matter. It's alizarin crimson with a little bit of phthalo blue, a little bit of ivory black. I'm going to work it right down into the reflection. Quick strokes. So many of your strokes at this stage disappear later in the painting. Now here's the best part. I love this red. This bright red is the strongest hue, and I'll be using it throughout the painting. We're working wet and wet, so you want to apply your paint very cautiously. If you're too heavy-handed, you get mud. Ooh, look at that red. Smoothing out edges. Now I'm going to go into the interior of the boat. Some nice warm browns here. A little bit of indigo mixed with raw sienna. Little cadmium orange thrown in just to give it more warmth. And then let's start to eliminate all the white. Same thing with our secondary boat. And look how quickly they become incorporated into the painting. And we'll get some reflections off that sunlit second hull. Now back into our background. We can use as much color as we want back here because this is going to stay abstract. I'm only hinting that there's something going on. Pinks, pale green, cadmium orange, cadmium yellow, working to define the subject matter, the two boats. Now let's get some really pretty color into that reflection. Nice and loose. See what happens as we darken the water around the boats. It just makes them pop. Get rid of your edges. And that dark shadow really brings that red boat forward. I'll keep coming back to the bright red sunlit side. It's the most important part of our subject. This is a very neutral gray, and I'm going to start to pull all of the various aspects of the painting together. A neutral gray is wonderful for doing this. You can see that some of the underpainting is showing through. And now I'm going to start adding our deeper reflections with the green. Look how that green works against the red. Little calligraphy in the water, give it some action. Now it's time to brighten up the background. Look how that gives the sense of sunlight behind the boats. I want to hint at a structure without actually creating one. Little dots of light down into the water. This is all wet and wet. And now I'm going to bring some of that warmth into the foreground water. This is the middle part of the painting, and I'm going to start refining. Bringing that red down further into the water, improving the shadowed area. I'm going to darken that boat, the secondary boat, so that the red boat will really jump out at us. Brush strokes are very important at this point. Every stroke counts. Some highlights. Redefining the boats. That's a beautiful color. And work it into the foreground water. Look what that does. You don't want to overdo it. So do this stroke by stroke. Oh, that's great. Woo! Now I'm finishing up the details around the boats. And I'm going to add just a hint of red, pale red down here at the bottom. Okay, let's step back. Here's our finished painting. It's bright, it's beautiful, it's loose, it's everything I wanted it to be. Thanks for watching, and please visit my website at barbarapplegate.com.